You know what really amazes me is that, you know what, if you didn't know that they had FASD, you just think that they're normal kids. So really that's the way I like to treat them, right? They're just kids that are coming to school and they just want to, you know, be accepted and be successful.
So these classrooms were created before I came into the role. So my understanding was that there was a group of children in a nursery school near David Livingston School that were exhibiting some significant behaviors, and they had all received their diagnosis of FASD. And so a proposal was put forth to pilot a program to support these students when they moved into public education. And then as they aged, the program grew and grew and grew, and then expanded to other schools. I would support students who are in regular inclusive school settings, but I would also support students who needed the extra benefit of being in an FASD low enrollment classroom. And of those, Winnipeg School Division has 5 schools with a total of 11 low enrollment classrooms for students with FASD.
Remember, you can pick whichever character you want.
The way we look at and the way we teach our kids with FASD is everything is brain-based, and you can always take a behavior and track it back to a brain-based function. So this is a color-coded model, for lack of a better word, of the parts of the brain. And so with our students who are in the FASD classrooms, we've developed a curriculum called the Brain Ability Curriculum. And it focuses on the different parts of the brain that they may have challenges and or strengths with. And we start teaching this as early as grade 1, so 6 years old. So for example, the occupational therapist will assess them on their large muscle skills, so balancing, jumping, eye-hand coordination. So then we teach the kids about that part of their brain. And so they would learn that this is the cerebellum, it's located at the back of their brain. And then we talk about how they could find ways to calm themselves. So for example, the calming room or the calming tools or the rocking chairs. The goal is when they are adults, they have some strategies that they can use in any environment.
Okay, if you would like a quick drink of water, line up behind Brianna.
I have 8 students on my class list. 2 EAs that work with me as well. So the 3 of us and the 8 students. And basically we're just a team. To the kids, all 3 of us are their teachers. It's pretty consistent. Each day is the same. You know, there's gym some days, there's library some days, but for the most part, it's pretty like bang, bang, bang. The kids know exactly what to expect. There's pictures, you know, we're starting with morning activity, then we're going on to math. So throughout the day, there's a picture for everything we do. And when we're done doing it, when Ms. Armenti remembers, we flip it over to show that it is done. We have a room in the school called the Heart and Soul Room, and we go there once a day, typically before lunch. And they get to exercise just to kind of burn off a little bit of energy. The calming room is just basically an empty room. We have some cushions in there. The kids know if we're ever upset or if we're angry, you know, you don't need to ask permission to go to the calming room. You can just get up and go. We have a basket of calming tools. So this is the glitter jar. So they shake it and then they watch the glitter fall. So they have stuffies and they just squeeze them or hold them tight. They like those. We have headphones for every student in the classroom, especially for assemblies. We take a bucket of headphones to the assemblies because the clapping is too loud and overwhelming. The chairs, they're movers. A lot of them like to move, and some of them are in constant motion all day long, so that gives them the ability to move and still focus and do their work.
These students are all diagnosed with FASD, so it's a grade 9-10 class, right? And it's their first experience in high school, and so they come here from various feeder schools in the area. It's a special education class, low enrollment, 10 to 12 students, and I have 2 educational assistants. So it's sort of individualized, right? And so for the grade 9s, the first semester they stay in my classroom, and then in the second semester they'll do phys ed or art or something like that. Whereas the grade 10s, they've done that the year before, and so if they're ready to be integrated into a math class or a science class or something like that, we'll do that. I guess the program is sort of set up so that the students can eventually be integrated. I mean, that's what we want in the end, right? That they're included into the rest of the school, but that takes time.
They're all academic programs, so the kids are all working on provincial curriculum. In the high school, they're working on their high school credits, which are provincial curriculum based. The difference that you heard Ed say is its pace, right, and its timing. So if somebody needs the entire year to complete the English credit as opposed to 4 months, then we'll make that exception so that they can complete the credit successfully. So sometimes it's not that the students aren't capable of doing the work, it's the pace of the work. And when it gets too fast, it gets overwhelming. And what happens to all of us when we're overwhelmed? We tend to stop, right? And so we want to build in factors that can help these students be successful and graduate from school. You don't learn about FASD when you go into the education program. It's just like you don't learn about autism, you don't learn about Down syndrome, you don't learn about emotional behavioral disorders. And so in your universities, when you're becoming a teacher, those aren't things that you have classes on. You don't get to take those until you're in your post-bac or your second degree. And so coming in as a first, second year teacher, that can be very challenging because these are the kids in front of you, and you have to teach them every day, and you have to help them be successful in school. And so that can be very challenging. And so as a support teacher in my old role, that would be something that I would be called in frequently to help, especially new teachers or teachers who had never worked with a student with FASD.
So it's really all about relationships, and that takes time. For some students, you can build that relationship fairly quickly, and then for some students it may take almost 3/4 of a year, or it may never happen.
Communication between home and school, building relationships between students and teachers, between teachers and homes, and time are so important for these students in order to be successful and to transition through school and then transition out of school, because you can't stay in school forever.